The future of office work might not arrive as a physical robot. It might actually arrive as software that quietly completes tasks before a human ever even touches them. Welcome to this explainer. Today we're looking at a profound technological shift. We're examining exactly how AI agents are changing office work, moving us from a world of manual software use into a world of supervised digital workflows. For decades now, when we pictured the future of work, we imagined humanoid machines sitting at our desks, literally replacing physical human labor. But the reality of modern enterprise automation is far more invisible than that. The true revolution isn't mechanical, it's digital. We aren't building metal workers, we're building invisible digital workers that move information, prepare drafts, check systems, and schedule work entirely in the background. Think about how we work right now. Every single piece of software we use, whether that's an email client, a spreadsheet, or a CRM, is completely passive. It just sits there. It waits for you to click, to type, and to prompt it. But what happens when software stops waiting? What does our day actually look like when applications begin executing multi-step workflows autonomously, without needing a human to guide every single micro-interaction? Section 1. The Invisible Digital Worker. To understand why this shift is happening so incredibly fast, we have to look at the environment it's entering. The modern office is a data-rich ecosystem, and it's uniquely exposed to automation because most of our work is already digital. And this isn't just some theoretical concept, it's a current business reality. Recent surveys show that 82% of leaders plan to use what they call digital labor to expand their workforce capacity in just the next 12 to 18 months. Businesses everywhere are facing a capacity gap, and digital labor is quickly becoming the essential scalable resource to close it. Section 2. Anatomy of an Agent. To really grasp how this functions, we need to peel back the interface. We're moving away from traditional generative AI and stepping into the era of agentic AI. An AI agent is a system that can reason, plan, and act to complete entire workflows autonomously, all while maintaining human oversight at key moments. It's not just generating a paragraph of text anymore. It's perceiving its environment, making decisions, and actually executing actions based on its training. The distinction here is pretty simple. A standard chatbot is reactive. It's great at text generation, but again, it just waits for your prompt. It's essentially like asking a colleague for advice. An AI agent, on the other hand, is proactive. It's like handing a highly trained assistant a specific goal, a checklist, a set of tools, and the permission to actually go out and complete the task on your behalf. Now, pulling this off requires a highly complex, invisible architecture operating behind the scenes. At the core, you have a foundation model that interprets the goal, but then the system uses planning to break that goal down into steps and memory to retain the context of what it's doing. Crucially, it relies on tool use and APIs to connect to outside systems, like your company databases. Of course, that means it requires strict permissions to define what it can and absolutely cannot access. You also need orchestration to manage multiple agents working together, and finally, human oversight to review and approve sensitive actions. Section 3. From Prompts to Workflows. So, how do all these technical components actually come together? Let's walk through a realistic workflow. Imagine a manager asks an agent to prepare a weekly operations summary. First, the agent interprets the goal. Second, it breaks the task into actionable steps. Third, it uses its tools, meaning it automatically logs into a dashboard to gather numbers and reads through recent meeting notes. Fourth, it checks its own progress, drafting the summary and highlighting any weird data anomalies it found. And fifth, it routes that drafted agenda to the manager, asking for human approval before sending it out to the team. It is a complete end-to-end process. Sounds incredibly efficient, right? But this is exactly where the problem begins. You see, the hardest part of deploying these systems isn't the intelligence. The intelligence is scaling rapidly. The real bottleneck here is trust, because the more capable and useful an agent becomes, the more dangerous its mistakes become. Section 4. The trust bottleneck. Think about it. For an agent to be truly useful, it needs access to the systems humans use every day. Your files, your CRM, your communication tools. But granting that access introduces some massive hidden risks. The primary barrier to widespread enterprise adoption right now is strict data governance, security, and establishing reliable trust in autonomous software. When agents are given over-permission to access to real-world tools, you open the door to severe vulnerabilities. The OWASP Top 10 for large language model applications outlines these critical threats perfectly. We're looking at risks like prompt injection, where carefully crafted inputs can manipulate the AI into taking unauthorized actions. There's insecure output handling, where unvalidated agent outputs could accidentally execute malicious code. We also face the risk of sensitive information disclosure. Then there's what's called excessive agency, which is granting the AI unchecked autonomy to take actions that jeopardize reliability. And finally, over-reliance, where humans just blindly trust the system and stop critically assessing its work. Because the stakes are so incredibly high, researchers are working tirelessly to solve this trust bottleneck. They're using frameworks like Toolemu to safely evaluate agents. Instead of just letting untested agents loose on live financial or email systems, Toolemu creates a simulated sandbox. It emulates tool execution, so developers can safely red team the AI. They can identify failures and assess the risks in a closed environment before the agent is ever deployed into the real world. And this kind of sandbox testing is absolutely critical because multi-agent failures can happen at a terrifying speed. Recent research actually demonstrated a vulnerability known as infectious jailbreaks. In a simulated network, researchers found that a single adversarial image inserted into just one agent's memory triggered an uncontrolled cascade. That infected agent then started inserting adversarial images into the memories of uninfected agents. In a network of up to 1 million agents, the infection rate reached near total propagation in just 27 to 31 interaction rounds. It is a stark illustration of why unchecked multi-agent systems require rigorous, ironclad boundaries. Section 5. The Human Agent Future. Considering these massive capabilities and the serious bottlenecks, what does the realistic outlook actually look like? Well, it's not a story of total human replacement. Rather, it's a future built heavily on human-in-the-loop workflows. Industry research suggests we are witnessing the birth of the frontier firm. This is an organization structured not just around functional expertise, but around intelligence on tap. The frontier firm treats digital labor as an essential, durable good that can be purchased on demand, seamlessly pairing irreplaceable human insight with the scalable efficiency of AI agents. In this new office reality, human roles are going to dramatically shift. Instead of executing repetitive admin work, employees will focus on optimizing the human-agent ratio. Many workers will actually evolve into agent bosses, where their job is managing, directing, and reviewing the outputs of digital workers. Our daily focus will shift toward workflow design and exercising judgment. In fact, managing digital labor will likely become a core organizational function, blending traditional IT infrastructure right alongside human resources. AI agents are not going to destroy the office, and they certainly aren't going to remove the need for human intelligence. They will likely turn the modern workplace into something closer to a supervised control room, a place where humans design the workflows, manage these invisible systems, and provide the ultimate judgment. Thank you for joining me for this explainer. The software is ready to do the work. The only question left is, are you ready to supervise it?